could be something as simple as this.
Good morning. This is Brother Wade coming to you from an overcast Sunday morning here in South Florida. As some of you know, I travel for a living, and I get the opportunity to meet and speak with some fantastic people. Well, I was in Charleston, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 months ago, and I had the opportunity to sit down with some friends there and have a conversation with my friend Josh and his daughter Maddie Landryman in Charleston. And it just so happens that Maddie likes pottery, and she takes pottery in college, and she does pottery, and she was showing me some things that she had made, and the pictures that she made, and how she put her own little touch on them, and how they were unique and special to her. And I got to thinking about that, and I told her, I said, well, why don't you make a document for me and tell me a little bit about pottery, and I'll dedicate a video to her. So Maddie, this video's to you. Thank you for sending me that information and giving me an education on the relationship between the potter and the clay. One of the things that she said in the letter, the document she sent me, is that we have to be okay with it not being perfect. And that stood out to me, and I began to remember and think about one of my favorite stories in the Bible, and that's the story about Pharaoh and Moses. And we find that story in Romans chapter 9, beginning in verse 15. It says, "For he saith unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then is it not of him that willeth, nor him that runneth, but God that showeth mercy. For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore hath he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Thou wilt say then unto me, why dost thou find fault? Who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall a thing formed say unto him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Hath not the potter power over the clay, of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor, and another vessel unto dishonor? What if God, willing to show his wrath, and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessel of wrath fitted for destruction?" Okay, now let's think about that. All of you are familiar with the story of Pharaoh and Moses, how the people of Israel was in bondage and they were in captive. And, Pharaoh was this bad guy. Moses was the good guy. Moses went in there and said, let my people go, and they went back and forth, and there was plagues that came down. But what Paul is trying to teach us here is that God formed and made Moses for that purpose, to go in and do what he did. But God also formed Pharaoh for that purpose. Like verse 17 says, "For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth." Now just think about that for a second. I bet even today, on this Sunday morning, the story of Pharaoh and Moses is being told and preached across the world in some fashion. I bet this coming week, there's going to, almost every night somewhere in this world, some daddy's going to sit his child down on his lap, and he's going to tell the story of Pharaoh and Moses and how God delivered the people from Egypt. Now think about this story. Who was really doing God's will, Moses or Pharaoh? The answer is they were both doing exactly what God wanted them to do. Pharaoh didn't have a choice in it. Moses didn't have a choice in it. God made the pots how he saw fit. He made one pot for a vessel of honor. He made another pot as a vessel of dishonor. But he did it so that God could show his workings and dealings among man. Now I can hear some of you just like Paul heard. Just like Paul heard in that day. Then why then unto me, why doth ye find fault? Who hath resisted his will? In other words, these people are going, okay, if God made me this way, why does God still find fault? And Paul rejected them and said, who are you to reply against God? Who are you, the vessel to say unto the potter, why have you made me this way? Hath not the potter power over the clay? Now here's the lesson we need to take from this. Okay, we got to be okay with not being perfect. We got to be okay with being clay. And that is just a plain old simple truth. Until next time.